let's take a look at gold. Gold again, guys, loving gold here. Had the pullback that we talked about, but is now starting to move back higher. So again, we can clearly see here, if I flip over here, we had the downsloping channel. We kept on hitting it, hitting it, hitting it, hitting it. We broke out. We retraced. Interestingly enough, look at where the retrace went. Take this high right through this high, draw a trend line right there, and you had a retrace right into that level. We're now starting to move up. The first big attack level is going to be at the $2,000 even number. That was this previous high right here. If it can get through there, guess where we're headed? We're headed back to the all-time high, double top, triple top, quadruple top. At this point, it's tops galore, and I can show you real quick if we zoom out on this chart. Let's zoom out right now, and if we zoom out, there you have it right there. So ultimately, if we can get through this 2,000 level, you're going to start testing the 2075 to 2080 double top level right up here. As I've said to you before, this pattern is very recognizable, right? You have a shoulder, head, and you're forming a shoulder over here. That's an inverse head and shoulders. The beautiful thing about an inverse head and shoulders, guys, is that you can actually calculate the upside target if it triggers. Triggers, it would have to get above this level. So to do that, again, we take our low here, we do a plumb or a straight line right up, we take that distance, and on the breakout, we do that same amount up. I believe it gets about a 2,450 to 2,500 price target, right? So you're looking at potentially in 2024, a $2,500 handle on gold. Now, for gold bugs, that's awesome. Gold, we've been kind of, it's been one of those things now for years. It's just been trading in this range. But it looks like if we can break out, it looks like this is going to be the solid move that we've all been waiting for in gold, which, again, does make sense. You get a weak economy, maybe a recession. You get inflation that may be still elevated. It's almost the perfect recipe for where gold will perform. Speaking of perfect recipes, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, I love these charts, guys, because, again, it's amazing how this stuff works over and over again. What we saw on Bitcoin is this, right? We were hammering on this line right here over and over again. I showed you guys this yesterday. We hammered it, and then we shot up. We went right back to our double top here, and now we're backing off. Now, basically, what is this forming? It's forming a wedge pattern, right? And a wedge pattern, guys, is a beautiful kind of tightening area where eventually you either break out or you break down. Now, generally, when you have a flat top like this, more often than not by a huge ratio, but about a 55 to 60% ratio, you break to the upside. It's not enough to really, in my opinion, I like 80% odds, probabilities, but again, 55, 60% still favors it. It breaks to the upside. Now, one of the things that I think is interesting is that altcoins have gone nuts, right? We even saw new highs on things like Solana yesterday, as well as Avalanche and some of these other ones. But to me, Bitcoin dominance is actually telling me that altcoins are probably closer to a near-term top. Now, notice, for those of you that love your altcoins, I'm saying near-term top. I got no clue where it's going in the next 6-12 months. I'm just talking near-term. The reason I say that is because Bitcoin dominance has retraced to what I would consider the scene of the crime, right? So again, you have a trend line coming up here, this high pivot to this high pivot, and if we zoom out, you can see it connects all the way back down there. That gave us our short-term high on Bitcoin dominance. We've now backed all the way back to this level right across here, right? All the way back into that area. The thought process is, and the way charts generally work, is you retrace to the scene of the crime and then you bounce back up. So what that could indicate is that altcoins may start to underperform versus Bitcoin, which would bring that Bitcoin dominance back up.
Hey, Crypto Street investors, buckle up because we're diving deep into the crypto cosmos. Bitcoin's on a wild ride, hitting nearly $38,000, and we got Cathie Wood's $25 trillion prophecy for the crypto realm. Ready? Let's roll. Crypto fans gather round. Bitcoin's making waves, reaching almost $38,000, the highest in a year. But hey, hold those horses. We're still a far cry from the heady days of 2021 when Bitcoin partied at $65,000. That's a dazzling 38% gain in just a month. What's fueling this Bitcoin fiesta? It's a mix of softer federal rates, Sam Bankman-Fried's redemption dance at FTX, and a sprinkle of optimism from the SEC approving the Bitcoin ETF. BlackRock's in the game, filing for a Bitcoin ETF and eyeing Ethereum too. If approved, it's a milestone. We're talking institutional thumbs up for crypto. But remember, crypto's a roller coaster, not a kiddie ride. Hold up, crypto street investors. Amid the excitement, let's face the facts. Cryptos, including Bitcoin, are wild rides. Mining, still a green nightmare. Remember, Bitcoin's not your knight in shining armor. It's a volatile beast in its glory days of 2021. Well, there might be more nostalgia than a roadmap to the future. Think twice before handing over your retirement fund to this crypto maverick. Now let's switch gears. The queen of bold predictions, Cathie Wood, sees the crypto universe exploding to $25 trillion by 2030. In a sea of 27,000 projects, she crowns Bitcoin and Ethereum as the rulers. Forget the .com era. This crypto revolution is grander. Hold on to your coins. The SEC, once the strict sheriff in town, is softening its stance. Cathie's endorsing Bitcoin and Ethereum. Regulators are thawing, and there's a glimmer of hope for complex crypto products. Remember the XRP ruling? A nod from the court sent billions flowing. Is this the dawn of a warmer crypto climate? And there you have it, crypto street investors. Bitcoin's roller coaster, Cathie Wood's cosmic visions, and regulators doing the crypto tango. Now let's continue our enlightening discussion with Gareth Soloway.
I know a lot of you guys are Ethereum fans. I'll quickly do Ethereum here. Ethereum, again, is just hammering on a double top here. So we can see, again, pivot high right here. We retraced up here. Remember the head and shoulders I was talking about here? This was that former head and shoulders pattern. That failed, right? That is off the table, so we don't even need to talk about it anymore. That's the life of an investor and life of a trader. Once it's off the table, it's off the table. You can't recreate it. It is what it is. The levels tell you that. Now, ultimately, what I'm watching for is this high pivot right here. Do we get through this high up in that area? If we do, we have a little bit more upside on the charts. I'll show you guys the next level connecting this high here, and bear with me. All right, so again, it's a little hard to see here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. All right, there we go. Oh, right there. Okay, so basically you connect this high to this high, and you get a target price just over 2,200. That would be your next stopping point of resistance if Ethereum starts to move to the upside. All right, I did want to talk on silver real quick. The reason why silver is important here, guys, it has broken out today. We'll see if it holds the breakout. Notice the channel, the downsloping channel here, and notice how, again, folks, look at what's going on here. It has now broken through that. Short-term target is 2450. That's your next trend line. But again, this is a starting point for silver. Beautiful consolidation, just like gold, breaking to the upside. I want to see it close above 2350 on the day. If it can do that, this is in good shape to continue up on the silver markets. So beautiful action on that. All right, guys. Lastly, just quickly touching base on oil here. Oil, again, by the way, soft landing, no landing at all. Oil's telling us that's not going to happen, by the way. I just want to be clear on that, going back to some of the Fed numbers and the economic data. But look at oil coming down. There's an upsloping trend line of support around 71, 71.5. That, again, will be something that I watch for today. Maybe we flush down there or maybe tomorrow. But, again, look at oil starting to come down and starting to take out this low. Target, again, is 71-ish, 71.50. And then the completion of the head and shoulders is around $68 per barrel. I would say for me, as a swing trade, we flushed down to 69, 68. I'm probably buying oil for a technical bounce. Short-term trade, though. Take a look. This is the 10-minute chart of the U.S. dollar. It looks big. It's not that big, but look at the drop here. I mean, beautiful drop on the U.S. dollar. Now, again, what's going on here? Let's take a look at the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield, little bit of a decline as well. Also, what do you guys think that the S&P is doing? Remember, it's an inverse relationship. So if we flip over to the S&P, take a look at this, little bit of an uptick right here on the S&P 500. And then if we flip over to the NASDAQ 100, also a little bit of a move. If you look at the overnight data into this morning, markets were trending lower, then a little bit of a pops.
Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase says spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, ETFs, could add billions of dollars to the total crypto market cap. Coinbase also believes that the chances of one or more spot Bitcoin ETFs being approved by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, before the end of 4Q23 have sharply improved. That wraps up today's crypto news highlights. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and analysis from the world of cryptocurrencies. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content.